The final race on the Sprint Saturday billing is just moments away as we gear up for an 8-lapper in the FIM Harley-Davidson Bagger World Cup here at Motorland Aragon. These bikes fit right in here. There's plenty on the road as thousands of die-hard bikers come from all corners of Spain and indeed Europe for the annual Aragon GP. And what a treat they are in for today. Just 10 kilometres from historic Alcañiz. We're ready to close off Saturday with race one for the baggers. You're in the company of myself, Kiko Giles, and Neil Morrison next to me for this one. And with a third different pole sitter of the season, 3 riders covered by 19 points at the front, and drama for 2 of the 3 front row starters that we've got in qualifying. We're going to be in for a corker this afternoon here at Motorland Aragon, aren't we, Neil? Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you, Kiko. Good afternoon to everyone watching around the world. Should be set up for a brilliant first ever baggers race here at Motorland Aragon. Great to see many fans have stayed behind after an interesting, intriguing MotoGP sprint that is just past. Many of them seeking out shade, and little wonder with temperatures reaching around 29 degrees this afternoon here on Saturday. You can see there some makeshift headwear just to keep the sun off the top of the bonds, but we did have a dramatic baggers qualifying session earlier. We had just 0.3 of a second covering the front row of the grid, and a couple of the riders on that front row predicting that we're going to have a bit of a 4 or even 5-way fight at the front of this race one.
It wouldn't be a surprise, would it? Because last time out at Silverstone we had a couple of real humdingers. It was brilliant over in Great Britain, and of course Bradley Smith doing the business as a wild card, and Archie McDonald, an emotional race 2 victory for him last time out. I think we should just remind everyone, Neil, if we can, about the state of play in the championship thus far in 2026. Eric Granado sports a 5-point lead over Archie McDonald coming into this one. We are only 4 races away from potentially finding out who it is who is going to lift the first ever FIM Harley-Davidson Bagger World Cup Champions Trophy. Archie McDonald, as I said, in second place. He's got 14 points over Oscar Gutierrez. These are the 3 riders I was talking about in the intro who are covered by 19 points. Aragon specialist Andre Iannone sits pretty in 4th. He is hanging on for a championship chance, Neil. 50 points with 100 up for grabs. He is going to need something pretty miraculous this weekend. But if it's going to happen anywhere, look at where we're going. We've got Aragon here, where Andre Iannone has been a Moto2 Grand Prix winner and a World Superbike winner. We're going to Austria next, where the scene of his only MotoGP win. So it's 2 great tracks for him.
Yeah, it's a good shot, Kiko, although I think Oscar Gutierrez would argue that this is a great track for him as well. He was fastest yesterday afternoon in FP2, and he was fastest this morning in qualifying. Took pole position. Strange sight of the pole sitter not actually looking very happy with himself, because he binned it just after he had set the fastest lap off the session and gave his mechanics quite a bit of work to do over the lunch break. But they have managed to work minor miracles down in that Nitty Racing garage, and Gutierrez lining up for his first pole position of the year.
Getting down to the nitty gritty, some might say. It is the first pole position of the season. He is our 3rd different pole sitter of the year. The only big question mark is this will be the first time that bike rolls out onto the racetrack since the crash. So if there is anything wrong with it, he's not going to find out until the warm-up lap or in the race. Andre Iannone, we spoke about him in 2nd place. Eric Granado, they're in 3rd. Your championship leader, depending on how results go in this one, does have a mathematical chance at the title tomorrow. He needs to have an advantage of over 25 points. It is unlikely, but not impossible to think that it could happen.
Yeah. Margin over 50 points, no? Heading into the double-header in Austria?
Heading into tomorrow.
Sorry.
In order to wrap it up tomorrow.
Apologies, Kiko. Yes, I'll finally get there. We worked out this morning that your maths is much better than mine, which is not really much saying anything at all. But Eric Granado on the front row for, the 4th time in 5 races so far this year in the Baggers World Cup. He was having some issues with the front end, changed his forks overnight, and, was 1.2 seconds faster in qualifying than he managed yesterday. So the Brazilian can't count him out, leading the championship, as Kiko said, and with that chance of wrapping up the championship this weekend, even if it is minor. That will surely be playing on his mind.
It will be indeed. We haven't seen Archie McDonald, but we are just clocking in with Geordie Torres. Home hero, of course, has had top fives here over in World Superbikes on multiple occasions. I think he came through for a top 6 as well back in 2014 in the Moto2 World Championship here at Aragon. Geordie Torres from Rubí in Catalonia, so not a million miles away, is a true home GP for him. A shout out here to Maxwell Toth, the 20-year-old from Belmont in the USA. Fantastic stuff. Debuted at Silverstone, 6th and 7th there, qualified 6th, then he's qualified 6th again this weekend.
Yeah, he's doing well, isn't he, Max Toth? We've seen him riding in the European Moto2 Championship quite a bit, over from his native America, spends quite a bit of time through the year in Spain. And yeah, Toth was very impressive in Silverstone, and well, doing the same thing here. It's a track that he knows well. He'll be launching from the inside off the second row. 16th
and 14th, his best results in Aragon from the 2024 Moto2 European Championship. 23 races in that category, 1 top 10, coming with 10th at Estoril at the end of 2024. That's your front 2 rows. All gone through. We're going to look at the 3rd row very soon. The number 27 of Filippo Rovelli it is at the head of that. Let's just check in though, 1 row ahead. Mad Dog Racing, Archie Mad Dog McDonald, 5 points drift in the title race. Neil, this is a track that he knows well, of course, from his Moto Junior days, but heading up that 2nd row, he is only 1 place behind Eric Granado on the grid. He has got to clear the Brazilian early doors.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see Archie's approach. He got really aggressive at the start of both Silverstone races and had that epic victory in race 2, where he just kept ahead of his teammate Eric Granado to earn his 2nd victory of the year. And I think that one probably meant even more than the first one, Kiko, because he actually had to fight his main championship contender right the way through the race. In the first race of the year, Granado crashed out, but in that one Archie beat him fair and square. So Mad Dog looking to make sure that this championship goes right the way down to the final round in Austria in 3 weeks' time.
It was won fully on merit, I think we can safely say. Indonesian team Nitty Racing, Indonesian rider in Dimas Eki Pratama, never came here from his 15 Moto2 starts, so has got Moto2 European Championship experience here at Motorland Aragon, but really he'll be looking to try and make it work for him in the Bagger World Cup this afternoon. He's looking to try and get back in the points. He didn't score anything at Silverstone. Travis Wyman completing that 3rd row of the grid, 8th place in the championship, and over the course of the last 6 or so races, 8th, 7th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 7th. So looking to get back in the top 6 if he can.
Yeah, he's been a model of consistency as Travis Wyman. Not seen him too far toward the front, aside from the opening round of the year back in Kota, but he'll be looking to change that fact. And Jake the Snake Lewis back in 10th. Bit strange to see Jake so far back. He is still 5th in the championship through consistency rather than through well, consistently fighting up toward the podium, but the Snake just hasn't quite matched with this Aragon circuit just yet.
Worst qualifying of the year, but he is 9 points ahead of Filippo Rovelli, who is only 1 row ahead of him on the grid, and behind him in front of him by 9 points ironically is Andrea Iannone, but I think it's going to be a bit tight for Jake the Snake Lewis to get his way through the field. We are gearing up here for 8 laps of Motorland Aragon. Oscar Gutierrez, your home hero, goes from pole. Will he convert it? The grid is clearing and we are readying for 8 laps of Harley-Davidson Bagger World Cup action here. Race 1 at the Michelin Grand Prix of Aragon for this one-make series, this brand new one-make series that started at the end of March earlier on this year. It seems like yesterday that we inaugurated it at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas, but here we are, round 5 of 6. It is the penultimate round. We have 4 races, including the one that's about to get underway, left to decide who will be the first ever World Cup winner here in the Harley-Davidson Bagger World Cup. You're joining myself, Kiko Giles, up here in commentary, alongside me, my good sparring partner, friend and teammate, some might say, Neil Morrison. Elliot York will be down in Parc Ferme getting the first reactions of the riders once they have crossed the line and parked up the top 3, that is, the guys that go to the podium. But Neil, we briefly touched on this morning. We'll come to the championship picture in a moment, but this circuit is very different to anything else we've seen so far, really, on the 2026 calendar. It's not flat. It is very, very fast. It has some very, very brave, long corners around here. It's a track where you've got to have faith rather than feel, and experience counts.
Yeah, absolutely. It is quite a difficult track to get the hang of, unless your name is Marc Marquez, of course, but it has been tricky track to learn. And as you said, Kiko, it has a bit of a mix of everything. Fast corners, slow corners like the one we're going through now, the downhill corkscrew, and then some really spectacular stuff like the 2 or 3 long lefts that we have that gradually increase in speed just here from now, as we see Granado coming round. But Iannone will be an interesting one to keep an eye on. We heard that he had maybe 1 or 2 mechanical issues with his bike in pit lane after qualifying. So I think the Nitti Racing mechanics have been a bit busy over the lunch break as well. It wasn't just Oscar Gutierrez. We'll have to see whether that has any effect on Iannone's performance in this race. He was saying in qualifying he wasn't super happy with some of the changes that they had made to his setting overnight. He felt more comfortable yesterday. So 1 or 2 question marks, I think, around the first and second riders on the grid, because Gutierrez, of course, he has to bounce back from that crash in qualifying. Gutierrez
has made a few too many errors, let's say, in 2026 thus far, but they've majority come in race trim. At least the error that has happened here at Aragon was in qualifying at the end of his fast lap. He'd already crossed the line. It was at turn 1 when he chucked it down the road. Neil, I've got to ask for a prediction here, because from the front 4, even including Jordi Torres in 5th, it really is a bit of a lottery. Who's it going to be?
I am going to stick with my prediction from earlier today, which was Andrea Iannone, just because of his previous record here. Kiko?
I'm going to go Oscar Gutierrez. I think he's got a bit of pace in the locker. I think he's got the mistake that normally plagues him in race trim out the way. So I'm going to go for the number 99, who starts on pole, ahead of your prediction, Neil. Andrea Iannone in 2nd place, and Eric Granado, your championship leader, already with the bike pointing towards the racing line. They're in 3rd. Archie McDonald, 2nd in the championship. He'll go from 4th place. 5th for Jordi Torres, 6th for Maxwell Toth. When the red lights come on, they go out, and we are racing in Aragon. Oh, what a creamer from Andrea Iannone. Absolutely like a scolded cat from that middle of the front row. Up the inside, barreling. Who's that? Is that Maxwell Toth? 6th up to 3rd. Well, that is a fly in the ointment. Wow, we've got a race on here. Andrea Iannone leading through the Carlos checkered corner. 2nd place, Oscar Gutierrez, your pole sitter. Maxwell Toth, what a revelation, the American rider, up there in 3rd, ahead of championship leader Eric Granado, and his main title quarry, Archie McDonald, dropping from 4th down to 5th. Oh, out the seat. They're sliding sideways all the way through turns 5, 6, and this is 7 up at the top of the hill. That was Toth going wide. Granado gets under him. It's all action on lap 1.
It most certainly is. A brilliant start from Toth and a brilliant turn 1, gaining 3 positions, as you said, Kiko, but then looking a little bit loose in the 2nd sector of this lap. Granado has already got through. Imperative that Archie McDonald make short work of Toth as well on this first lap, so he doesn't lose track of the top 4.
Coming through the Marc Marquez corner now, building speed. Maxwell Toth riding it right out to the edge of the curb. That might actually do him good. He's carrying his corner speed. Will he look up the inside of Eric Granado? No, he don't. Well, he had a look. He didn't execute. Down into turn 12. This is the entry to the bus stop. Be very, very careful once they flick right through here. Easy to ask for too much power. It's all about corner speed at turn 13. Hard on the anchors into 14. And it's all about lining yourself up. You don't want to blow yourself wide here at turn 15, because that is sacrificing your run all the way down the straight. Slipstream pivotal.
Yeah, absolutely. Iannone putting it all on the line down into turn 12. I really thought he was going to miss his apex in there, but somehow he managed to just about make his line. He was very, very late in the brakes. Iannone, I think we could say, is feeling a bit more comfortable with the front end of his machine than he was in qualifying. Judging by this first lap, the way he has attacked the contest so far has been mildly impressive. But as you can see, the number 99, Oscar Gutierrez, is just 1/10 behind.
Andrea Iannone leads the opening lap here in Aragon Race 1, down in towards this 90-degree very awkward turn one, left-hander, and then careful on the right-hand side of the front tyre here. Very easy to wash out, although conditions are ideal, so we shouldn't be getting too much of a chill factor there on the right-hand side this time around. Through 3, the Carlos Checker corner, then up towards turn 4 and 5. Archie McDonald yet to come.
Oh, it's Granado!
Eric Granado has gone down at turn 4. He has been flawless, he has been faultless throughout this 2026 season, and his first fault has left him on the floor at turn 5. Your championship leader now gives a huge advantage, a huge opportunity to Archie McDonald to make hay whilst the sun shines.
Wow, well, what did we just witness there, Kiko? Eric Granado has thrown away such a promising position, sat there in third, and we've seen this race being thrown upside down because suddenly Oscar Gutierrez has jumped up ahead of Andrea Iannone. I'm not sure if the Italian must have made a mistake somewhere off camera, but Eric Granado, head in his hands after this mistake, coming up towards turn 5.
We're on board with him. This is turn 4. Easy. Oh, he came round on him. It was a high side. It came round. Wow. He's offline as well. You can see where he's offline because he wasn't on a darker bit of tarmac there as they came through turn 4 offline. Very, very dusty here in this part of Spain. That is why these guys were particularly complaining yesterday afternoon. There was a lot of dust being blown right across the track, wasn't there, Neil? And now Eric Granado, good to see him up on his feet. Big crash. I thought he did get caught up with that motorcycle. Thankfully, 270 odd kilos does not impact him too hard. Jake Lewis, that looks like a technical problem for the number 85, so the race for 5th place in this championship is also blown wide open. Filippo Ravelli currently sat in 7th, but what drama we have had here in race 1. Oscar Gutierrez has about half a second or so over Andrea Iannone and sets the fastest lap of the race. Oh dear me, we've got a big crash in the background because we've got riders off everywhere coming out of turn 17. We've had an incident. That's Dimas Eki Pertama, the Indonesian rider. So the other Nitty racing machine, we've got marshals running to try and recover it. That's a big old motorcycle to try and pick up. Good to see Dimas Eki Pertama on his feet.
Goodness me, what a second lap. So much drama, you did not know where to look, and you can see that that has really exploded this front group. It was a group of 6, now we have 2 and then 3. Archie McDonald has finally made his way up past Max Toth in the first sector of this track, and you can see that Iannone, after making, I think it must have been a mistake, we didn't see it on our screens, as that's Pertama, isn't it? Yes, the other Nitty racing machine. As well, this was going to be a fast one. Oh goodness me, he's lost it just there. Well, on the entry of turn 17, and you can see there the number 10 of Travis Wyman having to take avoiding action and doing a mighty fine job to avoid that Nitty racing machine as he rides off into the gravel. Goodness me, Eki Pertama has not had much luck of late, Kiko.
Not at all, but I cannot tell you how well Travis Wyman did there. He was on the inside of Pertama, and then he went the outside of Pertama's motorcycle, so great job done by Travis Wyman. He's ahead of Jake Lewis as well. I think Jake Lewis was also taking evasive action. So 7th and 8th for the 2 Saddlemen racing machines at the moment. Well, we're on lap 3. Feels like we've had an entire race already. Gutierrez has been reeled back in by Andrea Iannone, and this is your battle for P3. Archie McDonald has finally cleared Maxwell Toth. Archie McDonald has got to be in championship conservation mode now because he's got 16 points. He would have an 11-point advantage going in to race 2 tomorrow over Eric Granado. Oscar Gutierrez would move up into 2nd place. And you know how we were saying Andrea Iannone needed something to go wrong for those around him? He's got that result so far and sets the fastest lap of the race too on lap 3.
Yeah, he most certainly has. He was 2/10 faster than Gutierrez last time around. Is Gutierrez in tire conservation mode for the final 2 or 3 laps of this race, just taking it easy up at the front of this field, while Iannone is doing a bit more work behind him? That will become clear and obvious as this race edges towards its conclusion. But one thing is for sure, despite Archie McDonald setting his personal best lap last time around, he was, well, 8/10 of a second slower than Iannone. So yeah, the number 69 doesn't look as though he'll be catching the top 2.
This is up towards turn 7. Iannone slightly wide at the top of the hill, and they slowly but surely work their way back down the hill. This is into the reverse corkscrew at turn 8. This is also a bit of an action hotspot for passing and crashing. Turn 9, safely through there for the lead 2. Toth has gone back to 5th. Jordi Torres doing the relegating this time around, so the number 81 slithers on through into 4th place, and he's looking for back-to-back podiums, of course, because he was on the rostrum last time out at Silverstone. Smoked that rear Dunlop.
Yeah, Max Toth has not given that rear Dunlop tyre an easy time of it. You can see right the way around those lefts after the reverse corkscrew. The number 2 is giving it absolutely everything. And safe to say, this has been his most impressive performance in his short time in this class so far, up in the podium position on the first lap. Oh, and I think Iannone just up at the front of the field there. He did.
He dive bombed at turn 15. Now, we've seen that move done before.
As Gutierrez got a problem. He's looking over his shoulder, Kiko. Looking back towards him. I'm not sure if he's just trying to scope out what the situation is, but Oscar Gutierrez there looking a little bit susceptible.
Yeah, looking a bit reticent as well to snap straight back on Andrea Iannone. Okay, so the Maniac is leading once again. And let's see what he's got across the line this time around as we enter what will be the second half of this race. Lap 4 is done. We start lap 5 and down towards turn 1. Andrea Iannone 58.4 last time around versus 58.8 by Oscar Gutierrez in second place. It's a 58.4 for Archie McDonald in third. This is the move, an absolute dive bomb. It's a classic here at Aragon, you know that, and he does really well not to run out too wide, keep his speed up, and has the momentum down that back straight. But it's not done yet. Oscar Gutierrez digging in deep.
Yeah, that was reminiscent of the late great Nicky Hayden, I think back in 2010, making the last gas pass on Jorge Lorenzo at turn 15, just before the back straight.
And that's how you do it, not how Valentino Rossi and Danny Pedrosa swapped places there in 2015, 5 years on.
Exactly. And there you can see info that Eric Granado has been taken to the medical centre. I mean, it was a rough old crash, wasn't it? He actually got quite lucky not to be caught up with his machine too much in the aftermath, because if one of these Harley-Davidson bikes follows you into the gravel and maybe lands on top of you, then it's going to be really long road to recovery. So hopefully Eric Granado is okay and he'll be on the grid for tomorrow's race at the start of Sunday.
It's his second mistake of the year, the one in Austin. He was able to rejoin, he was able to pick the bike up, he was able to put 10 points on the board. Who knows how crucial they will be at the end of this season. What a roller coaster it has been. And now Andrea Iannone, well, he's doing a great job at the moment. Let's see what Oscar Gutierrez has got. I thought Gutierrez just lining him up there into turn 15 to repay the favour on the rider who on his bum patch says kind regards. And Oscar Gutierrez will not think twice to do so. Look at the power the 99's got out there. Oh, slipstream, drag race all the way down towards turn 16. Andrea Iannone's going to think about putting it up the inside. Oh, that's getting tight. And Oscar Gutierrez is off the track altogether. Don't ask for the power out there, Oscar, because you're going out the front door. Does keep it on the island. And Andrea Iannone's elbows have come out proper. 3 to go.
Yeah, he's sprouted horns in this contest as Iannone. That was a very aggressive move. And after writing Archie McDonald's chances of catching the top 2 off, what, 2 laps ago? Look at this, the number 69 is now just 0.4 of a second back off Gutierrez after setting his personal best lap of the race.
And the fastest lap time around last time out of anyone there. It was a 59.4 for Gutierrez with no wide apples, because Iannone took him to the car park. But I've got to say, if McDonald can connect Gutierrez in the next lap or so, this isn't done yet.
No, yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And as you can see just behind Archie, Jody Torres is pretty much matching the Australians' lap times. He was marginally slower last time around. Both of them in the 58.0s. The lead pair, 58.9 for Iannone, 59.4 for Gutierrez. So, well, the playing up at the front has really cost them. This is not a lead group of 4.
4 riders in the battle for victory, 4 in the battle for the podium. There will only be 3 spaces left on this one to see who it is, who's going to take on us here in Aragon, who's going to make gains in the championship as well. Just got about 12 or so kilometres to find out. Down into the bus stop, Gutierrez wide sweeping entry. That will buy him a few metres on the Iannone, and it has done brilliantly through 13 and then down into 14. You can set it up here, but I think Gutierrez is a bit far back. Oh, Archie McDonald, where are you going there? The number 69 right out, using every single bit of track and more. Now that has cost him. Watch Gutierrez blast on bike, a great run out turn 15. Andrea Iannone relegated to second. He's picking up a bit of slipstream. Will he do the same again what he did a lap ago? He's going to think about it. On the rear brake, back it in. Andrea Iannone threw up the inside once again at 16. A bit neater that time. Oscar Gutierrez knew it was coming. Let's see what Gutierrez has got on the run to the line. Important to note, as they crossed the line, it was Iannone who led over the line. Down into towards turn one. You know he's good on the brakes, isn't he, Neil? And Oscar Gutierrez, that mistake at turn one earlier on today in qualifying, maybe spooking him, maybe just keeping him calm.
Yeah, I think Iannone knows that if Gutierrez gets ahead going into that final turn, then he's off, he's away, and his chances of victory are gone. So he's doing his absolute utmost to keep the number 99 behind. Gutierrez was around 0.6 of a second faster up until that final turn on the last circuit, so he definitely does have better pace, but Iannone has got his claws in and can smell a second win in the season.
Important to note as well about that crossing the line. Generally here at Aragon, whoever leads out of the last corner does lead across the line. The exception to the rule would be the Moto2 finish from last year, the closest ever in Moto2 history. It is possible to maybe drag by the line, but you would need a mistake from the rider ahead of you. And Andrea Iannone, last time around, yes, he was a little bit slower coming onto the main straight, courtesy of Oscar Gutierrez having such drive coming out the final corner, but he still led over the stripe. Archie McDonald's not done with yet here either. A lap and a half to go. Who's it going to be, Neil? Because both of our predictions are still in this, but I can quite quickly see Archie McDonald carving his way through soon.
Yeah, again, Archie McDonald showing such guts and such resolve to make sure that he is right in the midst of this, not just podium fight, but actual victory fight going into the last lap. He made a real dog's dinner of turn 14 last time around, but looked nice and clean this time. And coming down this back straight, McDonald is right in with the chance of victory here. What can Gutierrez do? He's had great speed down this back straight last 2 laps around. Doesn't look as though he's got the edge on Iannone this time.
It's almost like Gutierrez needs to lead coming out of turn 15. He needs to take his line. He needs to run his exit in order to get ahead of Iannone and then see if he can fend him off down into the final corner. Okay, it's a 3-way scrap for victory. Last lap time here in Aragon, and the fastest lap of the race last time around by Archie McDonald. So the Australian means business. He's got to clear Oscar Gutierrez. He's got to get ahead of Andrea Iannone, who in turn needs the points to try and keep his title hopes alive. Neil, it's very one line through sector 1, but where are the passing opportunities?
Well, turn 5 coming up here might just be one of them, but it doesn't look as though Gutierrez is anywhere near close enough on Iannone to have an attempt. I would say after that, turn 12 realistically, then maybe into turn 15 just ahead of the back straight.
Let's see what Oscar Gutierrez has up his sleeve. He might not have anything if Archie McDonald can clear the 99. Of course, Gutierrez is a title rival with Archie McDonald. They were split by 14 points coming into this, so it is a big swing in favour of Oscar Gutierrez by 4 points. They'll be down to 10 between these two in the title race. Coming through turn 9, this is the Marc Marquez corner at turn 10. Turn 12 is an opportunity, Neil, but I just don't think Gutierrez is close enough.
Yeah, Iannone was brilliant through sector number 1, put 0.3 of a second in to Gutierrez just behind. You see Gutierrez is recovering a little bit in sector 2, but nowhere near close enough for a attempted overtake. So if Iannone keeps it nice and clean through the next 3 corners, then I'm pretty sure he's got this race all sewn up.
He looked a bit lively down into the braking area at 12, and then he got it a bit lit up through 13, all neat and tidy through 14. 15's the crucial one. You don't want a moment on exit here because it costs you all the way down this 1 kilometre back straight here at Aragon. Andrea Iannone, 2 corners from home, 2 corners for a second victory in the Bagger World Cup, and I think he's done enough. There's no way that Archie McDonald's going to have a say on Oscar Gutierrez, but can the 99 have a say on the 29? They're in the final corner now. Gutierrez is building, he's building, but I don't think he's going to get there in time. Andrea Iannone has done it again at Aragon. Brilliant stuff. The 29, just like he did in his victory in Mugello, sets the fastest lap of the race on the final lap. A brilliant bagger race one. Iannone, the maniac, P1, Gutierrez second, and Archie McDonald, your new championship leader, again in 3rd.
Yeah, what a race that was, Kiko. So much drama, whether it was crashes or mechanical issues, changes of the lead, changes of the size of the lead group. It was pretty much everything you wanted from a motorcycle race just there. But Andrea Iannone with the fastest lap of the race on the final lap. What a performance from the maniac. That was something else. And well, I think I've been proved yet again that I'm just talking complete nonsense. I said 2 laps ago Iannone didn't have the pace of Gutierrez and he had to try and stay ahead no matter what, otherwise Gutierrez would escape, and then he pulls the fastest lap of the race out on the final lap. Impressive stuff from the number 29.
Sandbagging as ever, I am sure. Iannone adds this victory to his 2010 Aragon Moto2 victory, his 2024 World Superbike victory here at Aragon. This is a circuit that he liked. It is a circuit that he goes very well at, and that has been proven today in the Bagger World Cup. Second place for Gutierrez, your home hero, right there now in the championship. Very, very exciting stuff. 11 points now covering your top three. 36 points covering the top four, of which P4 is Andrea Iannone. Archie McDonald, he can be happy with P3 because with that consistent ride, another consistent ride from Mad Dog McDonald, he does take that championship lead. Just outside of your top three, Geordie Torres, brilliant job by him. Maxwell Toth, surprise of the race, 6.4 seconds off the leader at the flag, so you've got to be so impressed by the American. And Filippo Ravelli back in the top six.
Yeah, really good performances right the way down the field. Geordie Torres and Maxwell Toth included, but not no one can be quite as impressive as this rider here, Andrea Iannone. Great to see that he's given the marshals, the trackside marshals, some love, and has he stalled it? Well, he's got it going again. You can see there he's playing around with the gear lever, trying to get it.
Is it going because it's going downhill? Because it's downhill. But there it goes. I think it's kicked in now. He's such a welcome addition to the paddock in the Bagger World Cup. It's great to have him back in the MotoGP paddock in general. But Andrea Iannone is a winner for the second time this year, Neil. Is the title still on? I mean, it could all be over by tomorrow, of course. What I can tell you now is that there will be no champion tomorrow. It could only be Eric Granado. There's no way that Archie McDonald can leave here with a 50-point advantage. So we do have a season showdown in the Red Bull Ring. It will be a Spielberg thriller, I'm sure.
I'm sure it will. In 3 weeks' time, you will not want to miss that. Baggers at the Red Bull Ring, that will be thrilling, spectacular stuff, without question. But we have another one of these here tomorrow. It'll be kicking off before the 3 Grand Prix. A little bit of a change off schedule. Baggers will be kicking things off, I think, just after 9 a.m. on Sunday morning. So make sure that you tune in for that. But what a performance from Archie McDonald. The first lap seriously did not go to plan. And is he off to celebrate with some fans? Maybe he's spotted an Australian flag somewhere in the grandstand. Or maybe there's some friends there, or not sure exactly. But Archie McDonald playing to the crowd as per usual. And as you said, Kiko, he now is in control of this championship, and the rider that we were expecting him to have to fight with most has gone and made a massive error, we think, at this point. It was a strange crash for Eric Granado up at turn 5, the rear end coming round.
Yeah. He was offline, wasn't he? Ever so slightly offline. But the thing is, here at Aragon, you don't need to be far offline because it is so dusty away from the main racing line. He has been taken to the medical centre. If you are just joining us late, we're talking about a crash that happened for Eric Granado up at turn 4. He didn't get caught up with the bike. It was just a heavy fall. Hopefully he is okay. Hopefully he can take that P3 on the grid for tomorrow. Lights out tomorrow at around 8:55. We should be underway. We are on air at 8:45 local time. That's, of course, here in Spain. Iannone has made it back. I'm not exactly sure what he's saying, but he's not happy with something or someone. Just Andrea Iannone, usual behaviour, I suppose you could say, down there in Parc Ferme. Second place for Oscar Gutierrez, and I think he's just pulled in now to Parc Ferme, as well as Archie McDonald. That's Archie McDonald who's just pulled in now. Third place for him. Great job all round, your new championship leader.
Yeah, he would have taken that at the start of the season with 3 races to go. 10 points in hand over Oscar Gutierrez. But you feel that there's 1 or 2 more twists in this championship just yet. It does remind me a little bit of Moto E World Championship in that there were several seasons where it seemed as though the main challenger in the championship was kind of shifting weekend to weekend, and something similar has happened so far this year in the inaugural Bagger World Cup. Really good ride from McDonald to get within a second off Iannone and Gutierrez. At one point it looked as though he wasn't going to get anywhere near them, but well, he's hit the fastest lap in the penultimate lap, and then Iannone did so on the final lap, and that shows some really good tyre management. Also, think Dunlop will be pretty happy with their product, because this is a pretty demanding layout here at Motorland Aragon.
100%. The only thing that I was slightly worried for Andrea Iannone is that maybe he didn't realise how close, or not close in the end, Oscar Gutierrez was down into that final corner, which is so easy to outbrake yourself. It's off camber, well, the first part of it's off camber, and then you climb all the way up, but you're still rolling away from you. And they got the job done. He was very, very late on the brakes into 12, got it a bit lit up through 13 as well, but like I say, he was P1 at the checkered flag, P3 at the checkered flag, but P1 in the championship standings. Great job for Archie McDonald, who's down there to celebrate and talk with Al.
Archie, great job, another podium and in the victory fight once again. You must be pretty proud of that one, and now you are the championship leader once again going into tomorrow too.
Yeah, it's very pressurising when you say that. I did see Eric go down, and from then on I was shaking in my boots. I thought I better keep it clean and finish this race, which is what we successfully completed. And there was a battle up the front between Andrea and Oscar, and I thought these two are going at it for the win, regardless of their teammates or for the championship. So I thought I better sit back and watch it play out. Nothing happened. They both finished successfully, and like you said, we've got a championship leading, so now we're going to keep our head screwed on, enjoy this podium while we're here, and go on to tomorrow.
Enjoy the podium, well done.
Thank you so much. Ozzy, Ozzy, Ozzy!
Oi, 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 because he's in P1 in the championship. As we said, Neil, he's only been off the podium twice, so another consistent, solid ride from someone who we really didn't think would be a main title contender, and here he is leading with 3 to go.
Yeah, the only time he was off the podium was the 2 races in Assen, where he had a massive crash on the Friday, which seriously hamstrung him come the 2 races. But even still, he was able to pick up 4th and 5th. And as the old saying goes, Kiko, you win the championships on your bad days. And if your bad days are 4th and 5th, then that is a pretty successful championship campaign.
Generally means that the good days are very good indeed. It's a very good day for Oscar Gutierrez. Pole P2, he would have wanted his 1 place higher, but he gets another chance to do it tomorrow.
Oscar, pole to 2nd place in the race is a pretty good day at the office. I know you're going to be a little bit frustrated. Just talk to us about that battle with Andrea and how pleased you are with the P2.
You know, I need to be grateful to my team because after my crash in qualifying, I didn't know if I could make the race. So they repaired a spare bike in a record time. So yeah, I was a bit careful because when you change the bike, you never know how it works. But yeah, today the race was a bit crazy. What can I say? Andrea maybe wanted this victory so much. A bit some overtakes were a bit risky, let's say, but I was calm because I saw on the pit board 51 cow. So let's say I said to myself, finish the race. If I could, I win, of course, but I saw it was a bit risky. So good points for the championship. Tomorrow we will have another opportunity with a more cold temperature. So yeah. Happy. This 2nd place is an effort, great effort of my team. So yeah, focus on tomorrow.
Great job, well done.
Thank you.
Cheers, Al. Cheers, Oscar. Let's decipher those 2 points, Neil. Andrea Iannone wanted to win the race quite a lot, and some moves were risky. Let's translate them. Oscar Gutierrez not happy with some moves that Andrea Iannone was making, perhaps.
Yeah, I think that first one that he made up in the final turn, or the penultimate turn, I should say, turn 16, was probably the one to which he was referring. And, well, did send him out to the car park. I don't think he was expecting it. He didn't get his line right. But to be fair, he did make the corner. So I don't think, it was tough, but I wouldn't say it was overly tough.
Both stayed on the track. There's not more you can ask for. Okay then, Andrea Iannone, a winner once more at Motorland Aragon. It's his 2nd this year in the Harley-Davidson Bagger World Cup. This will be fun and exciting. Take it away, Andrea and El.
Andrea, returning to the top step for the second time this season, and here, of course, at Motorland Aragon as well. A great battle. You wanted that one, didn't you? And important points for the championship as well. Talk us through it.
Yes, for sure. I don't have so option. This is the only option I have, and it's try to win every race. So it seems it's really hard because I'm become a really old rider. But in any case, I try my best. I put all my experience so in the middle. Sincerely, I don't know. The bike, the feeling is really good about the setup and something like this. But in the street, we struggle a lot from Assen, and now we will see. So maybe for tomorrow, we try to understand well, because we are a little bit more slow than everybody in the straight. And if we improve a little bit in this area, so I think we possibly improve more.
Great job and enjoy the podium.
Yes, thanks to the team, thanks to Harley-Davidson for made all this possible, and see you tomorrow. Ciao.
Ciao. Couldn't have put it better myself, Andrea. Cheers, El. Down there, second win of the season, Neil. Great move. Elbows out. Oscar Gutierrez said he wanted it, and Andrea Iannone proved just how much he wanted it. And let's be honest, it's motorcycle racing. If you want to pass, there's always an element of risk.
Yeah, that was the second of those penultimate turn moves that Iannone made in successive laps, and that was a little cleaner than the first one. But one thing was clear, Iannone was like a dog with a bone in that contest. He really, really wanted it. And, well, did we say he's still in championship contention? I mean, he's, 34 points back? It's not completely out of the realms of possibility after his second victory of the year, but brilliant stuff from Iannone. And what a charismatic Parc Fermé interview as well. You gotta love the guy.
I'm still trying to make sense of it, but great to see that Andrea Iannone back, let's say, in contention. 36 points with 3 races to go. He can do 12 out of everyone else, and particularly Archie McDonald, who's leading the way, and he's right there in Austria. These are your final results from race 1 here of the Harley-Davidson Bagger World Cup at Aragon. Andrea Iannone, Oscar Gutierrez and Archie McDonald, your podium. Jordi Torres makes it 2 Spaniards inside the top 4 to give the home crowd something to celebrate. Maxwell Todd, a career best 5th. Filippo Ravelli in 6th place ahead of Travis Wyman. No finishes for Eric Granado, Jake Lewis and Dimas Ekupatama. A change at the top. Archie McDonald moves forward into P1. He controls the standings with 3 races left on the calendar. Oscar Gutierrez also leapfrogs Eric Granado, who crashed out and drops to 3rd. Andrea Iannone holds 4th and closes in overall on the lead. And all the way down, Jordi Torres as well, making up positions, jumping up to 7th place. Maxwell Todd, he'll just keep accumulating points and probably by tomorrow be ahead of Bradley Smith, your Silverstone winner from last time out. And now it is time for the podium celebrations. There'll be a lot of celebrating down there in the box, even if the teammates are perhaps not so matey after that race 1. Nitty Racing 1-2. Angie Koo, the team boss, will be mega delighted with that. Iannone, Gutierrez and Archie McDonald, 3 different nationalities. Neil, what more can you ask for either?
Yeah, and some really ferocious racing. I think that's the most important thing at the end of the day as well, isn't it? And, well, 3 riders on the podium covered by less than 1 second. We had the 3 in qualifying covered by less than 0.3 of a second. So it has been a really close day of action in this King of the Baggers series at Aragon.
Got to ask you, obviously Eric Granado, we know, has been taken to the medical centre, so hopefully he's okay. What is he thinking right now?
Yeah, I mean, he will be absolutely gutted, won't he? Eric Granado looking at a couple of his big contenders climbing this podium. But really, he has to turn his attentions to tomorrow. And as we see, Archie McDonald, Oscar Gutierrez coming onto the podium. But I'm sure we're going to hear a pretty big cheer for Victor in the second time this season, Andrea Iannone. He is back.
It's some style, isn't it? Oh dear me, please don't do that on camera, Andrea. we're just going to wait now for the trophies to be handed out. I did notice there wasn't any handshake there from Andrea Iannone to anyone else, and it took a long time for Oscar Gutierrez to clap his hands together for the race winner. So is there perhaps a little bit of friction down there in the Nitty Racing camp? We'll soon find out. Trophies being handed out. That's the P2-1 for Oscar Gutierrez, who is now second in the championship. As I say, he's got 1 point over Eric Granado. He is 10 adrift of Archie McDonald. And Andrea Iannone stylishly waiting for his second winner's trophy of the season. And he lifts it high, and it is a job well done for the Maniac. Of course, with the Maniac winning, that is the Italian national anthem incoming. Let's hear it. The Italian national anthem rings out here at Motorland Aragon. Neil, before we jump off air, final thoughts from a very, very dramatic race one here at Aragon, and we're getting ready to do it all over again tomorrow.
Yeah, it is all to play for tomorrow. Let's see if Eric Granado is fit enough to make race 2 tomorrow morning. Let's hope that he is. And more of the same, please, Kiko. I mean, that was a fantastic race. Changes of the lead, aggressive overtakes, a little bit of friction between teammates. Lots of things that we like to see in motorcycle racing.
I'm going to presume the Prosecco DOC bottle that Andrea Iannone has just launched over the balcony was caught. Otherwise, we would have heard it smash everywhere. But Andrea Iannone, another win for him in 2026. They get ready for a quick podium photo. And then it is back to the baggers' paddock. And yeah, fair to say, those three, very, very happy day at the office. Talking of the office, we'll be back here tomorrow. We'll leave you with the highlights, but for myself, Kiko Giles and Neil Morrison, race 1 is all done and dusted. Sprint Saturday is all done and dusted. Tomorrow, 8:45, action kicks off live here at Motorland Aragon. We hope to see you then on Grand Prix Sunday.